These next two drills are designed to help correct kids who have what I call uppercut swings, and I'm sure a lot of you coaches have these kinds of kids in your program. But before I get into these two drills and have the girls demonstrate them, I want to interject something I feel is really important in terms of teaching any aspect of softball. Number one, think about for a minute what kind of terminology that you people use as coaches. I've had a chance to reflect in the last 3 years since leaving Major League Baseball when some of the children that I'm teaching, my youngest student's 3.5 and my oldest is 65 in my school. We've got slow pitch softball, fast pitch softball, and baseball. And it dawned on me at one point how much telling I was doing as a coach and how very little teaching I was doing, because I knew the material so well. I figured that if I said it to the kids, they would understand it immediately. But let's just take as an example, how many of us use terms like, when we're talking about hitting, use terms like, for instance, chopping wood, swinging down on the ball? Okay? Just those two are two of the biggest ones used. Think about this for a minute. Line your 15 girls up and say to each one of them, what does swing down mean to you? What does chopping wood mean to you? And listen to the difference in the answers that you get from your kids. See, because some of the kids, if I said, what does swing down mean, they might say this. Isn't that swing down? Of course it is. Okay? Some of them might say swing down means this. Okay? That's swinging down. But it depends on how they interpret the terminology that we use as teachers or as coaches. Now what happens if we explain ourselves? Swinging down simply means a downward path on the ball. A downward path of the bat to the strike zone. And the longer we can stay in that strike zone, the better chance of contact we have. Okay, you saw that slow swing? Now what happens if this swinging down is what they're interpreting? Or chopping wood. That looked like I was chopping wood, didn't it? Swung down right through it. So if that's the case, how many kids have a downward plane and swing and miss because they only have that much hitting surface? So be careful of the terminology that we use, because based on the vocabulary that we use as coaches, the kids may be interpreting something different than what we're saying. And what we're all trying to say is we swing downward path to the zone and stay in the zone as level as long as we can, because then we have 2 or 3 foot of hitting surface versus 1 inch as I swing down through. Okay, so make sure in the terminology that you understand that the kids might not understand what you're saying. As an example, I am a visual learner. I have a very creative mind, as my kids will tell you, kind of devious from times. I have a lot of fun. I love jokes, but sometimes I picture in my mind something different than what people are explaining to me. And then when they take me by the hand and they walk me through it, then I visualize it and I say, now I understand. Remember that your kids, just like my 2 girls, are combinations of audio and visual learners. And it's so important to know that those that are not good audio learners have to be visually led through what it is you're trying to teach. And the 2 drills that you're going to see now are going to help compensate for kids who have uppercut swings. And Sarah, if you'll come up and demonstrate the first one. And again, let me reiterate, she's getting so tall now that in probably 1 more year we won't allow her in here, because I don't allow anybody bigger than me in the school. But using this drill here in compensating for an uppercut swing, she's going to hit this ball and knock this ball off the tee. If her swing goes upward, that ball's going to hit and rise. Her swing has to go downward to hit the ball and then finish on through the strike zone to try to knock that ball off the second tee, which is set at a lower height. And again, as I mentioned before, I don't care if you have fancy tees like this. I've got the best equipment in the country, but I haven't always had the best equipment in the country. You can set a barrel up. I set some of my girls up to let them teach the back leg on top of a barrel with their back leg as they pitch, so they're not rushing way out in front. You can use anything. Be innovative. You can set a table here, although don't make it a good one because we don't want to crash a coffee table and get in trouble. But you can set any kind of object here for them to have to swing over and have the ball sitting on a tee out front here. This drill, she's going to take a downward path with the bat and try to hit this ball and knock it down to hit this ball off. If she has any kind of uppercut swing at all, you will not hit the ball. Heads up, Maul. Okay. Now, you can't see from the side, but she did have a downward swing. She just pulled it across the zone in this direction instead of, and again, we'll do a little bit of teaching. This big one right here has been an outstanding pitcher, and she's just learning now to spin on the ball of her back foot, and she really is developing a pretty swing. But she still doesn't take that path here to there and out. Sometimes she comes right to here and heads right on over here. Okay? So for her purposes, this would be a great drill for her to have to finish 1, 2, 3 through the zone, which she's working on right now. But just as a drill, if you got a kid that uppercuts, this is a great drill. They hit the back ball and knock the front ball off. Let's try her again. Finish all the way through. Ho! That was sweet. Give me some skin right there. That girl. But that ball, if you can see it on the side, just missed hitting this, but it was on a downward plane, so it eliminated any of this. Okay? Very good. God, you love to show off, don't you? I do. Unbelievable. Okay, Maul. Okay, we go to a little shorter bat here. Now, the same kind of a drill, okay, we're going to ask Molly, who's got a little bit shorter center of gravity here, right? We're going to ask her to swing over the top of the back ball and miss it and hit the front ball off the tee. So there's no way she can swing over this one, dip down and rise up and hit without hitting this ball. It'll eliminate the uppercut in the swing. Don't hit the second ball or the first ball, swing right over the top. There we go. Okay? So as you look at it, the path of the bat is a downward plane to the zone here. She's got to skip over this one, continue down to make contact. Now I'm not saying we're going to actually do that in her swing all the way down, but in eliminating the uppercut part of her swing, she has to get over this one to go down. Same drill as the first drill, but now she's got to go over this ball. As in the first drill, we hit this ball on a downward swing to knock the second ball off the tee, and that will help eliminate kids who are having trouble with an uppercut swing. One other quick drill, and if you could hand me that chair, please. If you have a kid who's really uppercutting and these drills don't work, this third drill, better turn this around this way, should help you. Set that tee up on top of a chair. Now, if you've got a net or a target out here, they have to hit, this ball's already high in the zone. They have to hit this ball down into a target in the zone. It already elevated the ball. Most kids with an uppercut swing will take this path to the ball here and pop it up, because with rise balls and the bat rising, lots of fly balls, lots of foul balls back over here. You have to hit the ball off the top of a chair down into a target, which creates 1, 2, 3, finish. 3 great drills for uppercut hitters.